My lips are purple. Every once in a while, I'll go through a period where I just pull out book after book and I'm looking for something new to it's when I'm in between books. If I'm currently reading a book, everything's great and wonderful. But then I'll put down the book and take a break. I finish it and I'm in between books. I pull out every book and start looking for a new book to read. And this is life, you know? If I have a concrete narrative, I'm just making this up. That analogy doesn't make sense. I was just making that up. I don't know. Yeah, I need to clean my room. Really thought her will was nothing but hers. Yeah, she never really considered all the ways times twists and turns and unrolls. She struggled a little bit during my conception though. This is when she was really realizing just how much of herself she had exiled. How many of her thoughts started from the outside looking in, playing everyone in order to protect herself. She would orient herself through the eyes of the other. I'm a more recent piece of hers, right? And I was conceived from her inability to constrain her nature. So you asked me what I think about will, and I think my birth sort of answers that question. I am being possessed by two opposing forces, right? There is the fear of vulnerability, of self-expression, in part invocated through masking, growing up with a disability, and just being calculated in all presentations of self, versus whatever it is that begs itself to be born through me, versus the impulse to self-expression, which feels much larger and much more significant than the other force possessing me. I want this one to win, but I resist it. And I don't understand it. And that's part of why I resist it. The other one is that the other force is easily understandable. It's easily comprehensible. And it makes sense. This force, the force that asks itself to be born through me, that I do not get, that I do not know why it's wishing to speak through me, that I do not fully understand in human language. It's more intimidating because I don't get it. So then every day I wake up and I ask myself, are you curious or are you a coward? Most days, I'm a coward. Some days, I'm curious. And I prefer life when I'm curious. And when I'm curious, the being that wishes to will itself through me, to will creation through me, right? Whatever it is that is forcing my hand to hold paint, that force grows stronger when I am curious. So, yeah, welcome to my TED Talk. Here's some of my art, the painting I'm working on right now. Sometimes though, she would, have these moments, these glimpses of clarity in her lowest points. And then it's like, okay, where is this coming from? It wasn't until she spoke to herself along the thread, that it really clicked. Oh, okay. So there is a me somewhere, sprawled out on the sphere, guiding me to the point where she resides. The creator, she's curious. She's always looking to peer beyond the curtain. She always wants to create and expand and create and question. And I think she's internalized external perspectives of this nature, and she's tried to subdue it, tried to keep herself small. They say that the body is an explosion contained by flesh, and I think she's been trying to reign in that explosion for a long time, but I am the consequence of her inability to contain that. I am an extension of her most authentic will, you could say. I mean, we all are. So, she fights it. She says she cannot control it, but I think she loves it, and I think she craves this creation. I think this is the closest thing to her most true will. I think every time she would choose to explore this explosion within, whether or not she had a say in the existence of the explosion. Of course she did not create fire. Of course she did not create the seas. That is not her will. She did not create the trees or the dirt or color. She did not create pigment or light. She did not even create the desire to create. At first, Bella was so hung up on control. She always wanted to control everything. But she couldn't help but carry out the will of this creative spirit. She would choose it every time. She would choose to engage with creation. She would choose to study it. She would choose to try to recreate. She would choose to devote herself. She would choose to pray in this way every single time.